Hey friends, welcome back to another video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, join the journey. We're sitting at $74, which is pretty good. It's going to have a short session, probably going to go for about 40 or so minutes, hopefully. And then the goal this session will be about $80. And also, yeah, thanks for all the comments as well. I mean, they do mean a lot. I mean, we went through a lot of downturns, so it was actually really nice to get, to have people just following, even though things weren't going perfectly. Also, I think having this six tables, for regulars to Zoom or to ration cash might be a sweet spot to have. Include and also having the big blinds as the display, not the dollars. Not that it really affects me that we're playing for real money. It's just the thing that our when we actually move up the stakes, like the 5NL, 10NL, it's still going to run the same. It's going to feel the same way. All right, we've got a straight with Jack High straight here. We're definitely going to bet it here. There's flush draws. We bet again. Now King Jack gets in there, but I can't be afraid of King Jack. All right, I'm just going to raise it up again. If you've got King Jack, I don't really care. It's just one of those things. It's probably the only hand that beats us. He's going to have a set here sometimes. He might call. It might actually fold this as well. All right, actually calls nice. All right, really nice. That's why we raise as well. I think a set also can get sticky there. Sometimes people with two pair, you got to think people don't think necessarily the same as you do. We can, some people, yeah, oh, it's because you will easily fold two pair or a set. Doesn't mean they haven't got the mindset of, I'll never win a hand, so I'm going to stay in this hand. I'm never going to fold this hand. So they end up tilting, and then they'll call you right down to the end. And that's what you need to sometimes realize, that people will actually think much differently to you. All right, so I've got a set here with a lot of draws. All right, we're just going to jam it. We could be lost here though. Board pairs up will be fine. Obviously, yeah, it's still a chance that we could still lose this quite easily. But now we've got 100%. We're never folding there on the flop. Sometimes they're going to outflop us though. Sometimes they're going to have two pair there. Sometimes they're going to get sticky with aces and kings. It's really hard to fold that. So, really nice hand to come out, especially early in the session. Another thing too is, guys, like what I was saying was thanks for the support as well. I mean, it's easy to just give up on the guy you're watching sometimes necessarily. Like some of you guys have been watching for long enough that you guys will see the skill, and we're not full of shit, so to speak. We're, there's definitely skill here. We're not just someone who's just going to accumulate a few hands and then just disappear. I mean, I did disappear for quite some time, but that's because I was tilting. And I think also the other factor is when you actually burn out, because you can burn out, and there is a scenario where you'll see it. There's people out there that will burn out. What's this guy got? It's gonna jam it. But anyway, people are just gonna burn out, and what they do is they burn out and just burn their stacks. The longer he takes, the better for us. He might just have an overpair. An overpair wouldn't be great though. He might just have ace jack, but we're happy with that one as well. Pretty risky. Don't think queen eight's maybe queen eight we could have maybe missed a value bet there. But yeah, what I'm saying is people do shove all ins, not because they're bad players, it's because that's the only way they can give up playing poker for some time. I call it queens here. Hopefully just checks here with the ace. Alright, it's gonna let go. I had the call there, but probably a bit tight folding there on the turn. But yeah, some people just randomly they just burn out, and they're tired, and the only way, and then they can't give themselves a break, so they're stuck. They're stuck playing poker until They can't. They don't have enough discipline to actually give up or having like long periods of breaks. So what they do is they just stack off constantly until they've got nothing left in the bind. It's quite sad. It's good if you're on the end of receiving their stack. Like we're going to bet here on the river. Yeah, if winning pots from their side, and they just keep shoving all in with just random anything, and it's just sad. It's sad to see. But anyway, what I saw in my head, I could not beat the game at the stage. I was mentally tired because I was constantly losing. So I took a break from poker, and that's what happened. I just took the time away. And I just knew on the other side, once it got back, I'd need a bit of time to actually get the rust off and just get back to the stage of back to winning again. And I was pretty close to the mark because if you see, we were playing, when I come back, I had about $67, $66 bankroll to play 2-0, which is usually enough if you're fine. But I knew that parts of my game would fall, and you could see that parts of my game, like my C betting, uh, calling three bets from out of position, which is still a thing at the moment, not getting as much value out of your hands as well. Just finding those thin value bets, over calling on the rivers. There's just heaps of things, playing too wide as well. All these things just made a mark, and I got down. I think I got down to as low as $34 before we started bouncing back. And as you remember too, I did fall back in the 30s, and then I bounced back to about 52 buy-in, and then it fell right back down again. So, and then some of you guys probably thinking, how do I not doubt myself there? I mean, I just remember myself playing about 10 years ago online, and I was consistently winning, and I was getting some good, consistently winning, not having like right now at the moment, like without even worrying in the world, I'd have like three or about five consecutive winning sessions in a row quite easily without even trying too hard, and then yeah, just I just that's what I believed in. I just thought instead of focusing on your losses, really just concentrating on your legs of your game, because many players they love to blame everyone else. Basically, in everything in life, everyone just blames everyone else but themselves, and that's the thing. People just quit the game. Oh, the poker side's rigged, means it's not them. Oh, the players, they're cheating. It's not them again. So if you just admit that you're not good enough sometimes and just focus on the things you can control, because you can't control a winning session or a losing session, but what you can control is your decision making in certain spots, and just really helping yourself, give yourself the best possible chance of winning in the poker. So we're just focusing on, just turning things around, or not even turning things around, just focusing on just our bad plays, what we could do better. So we identify some leaks and just working from that. So that's pretty much as basic as it is. It's not that basic, but at the same time, a lot of people struggle with that, I guess. I'm going to represent the Kings. Because we've got the Ace of Diamonds, get a call. And top pair, we could probably raise here as well. I'm going to raise it. Could be behind here with Ace Queen though. Alright, just going to jam this one. We've got the nuts. And it looks like we could be bluffing here as well. Okay, folds. But need to make sure, sometimes you think, oh, they're never going to call. Alright, King, Queen, just letting go. Ah, Queen on the river. Doesn't necessarily... Oh, actually, that's one thing I probably need to be doing more. Is just trying to continue a little bit. When the bet's small, trying to continue. Multi-way pot. Probably shouldn't have c-bet there, but we got away with it. Bit of a dry... It's a dry board, but also dynamic, but we got away with it, so that's all that matters. All right. So just focusing on our, definitely loot, where we lost. Can't even six of diamonds. I'm gonna call it just because it's six of diamonds. All right, gotta bet this one. Got trips. If he raises us, I guess we can fold. Six of diamonds, we could shove probably. All right, ace king's gone. Sevens. The only other thing there with ace king, if we see bet there, we could probably have one taken down the pot. All right, threes could have called, but folding's fine as well. Three bet nines. Yeah, you can tell too. One of the biggest things we've probably done is tightened up our opening ranges, especially from all positions, pretty much. Small blinds, typical three bet fold scenario, unless in certain spots, like sometimes what we do is we just call behind because we've got an ace suited hand. So we can, like this, we can try and trap our opponent. So 36% suggests he could be weak. The only downside is you can have a big blinds trying to squeeze you. All right, but let's throw more in the pot. That's fine. I got a way ahead, way behind scenario. So if they've got an ace here, we're probably behind. But if they don't have an ace, we're in front. Really wanted to be a six there. All right, so we're going to try and get the showdown here. I think we can just call behind. I don't think we can raise. All right, it's got eight. Yeah, the reason why I don't think we could raise that, I don't think he's calling. So he's only going to call with better. So I don't think there's any value there. It was a nice little hand anyway. And that's probably the next part of my game as well. So, once we've plugged some of the leaks and we feel pretty confident of where we're going to be, with winning, we can start being a bit more greedier. And what we can do is start looking at thinking about the winning hands and focus, can we make more money from those hands? Like, could we get opponents to call? 9-7 defending out of position, but there is an exclusion sometimes. Like there is an exception to the rule, depending on who's in the pot. So if you've got like a fish that's in the pot, sometimes you can get in there with weaker hands. But yeah, we decided to fold there because we're in the big blinds. Multi-way pot, typically you're going to lose a lot more, and then your winning pots are going to be a lot less because everyone's going to see that you want to build the pot up. So typically they will fold out when you're in front, and you'll be in the hand when you're in front too. It's going to call, check here. Pretty much give up here. This sort of hits his range because we 3-bet pre. So you got to identify what pots are actually better. Okay, we hit the ace. We're going to bet here. Hopefully he calls with the pockets. Raises us. Is it going to call? It's only a small raise. All right, nice. Nothing really made sense there. If he really had two pair or a set there, he'd be probably calling. Or he'd probably be betting much earlier. He would just go checking. It was very passive. So the bet in the end didn't make sense. All right, I'm going to put some pressure on the big blinds here. We were wrong this time, but sometimes it's very hard for our opponent from out of the position to actually be bluffing. Ace 10, just gonna let go. All right, pocket sixes. But yeah, playing the regular tables definitely. I don't know. I think, especially for the comments. One of the comments was, "Do you think the the change of the win rate was you're winning because of the regular tables. I think we're always going to have this winning streak, but I think consistency over the long term with the regular tables, because you can have a look at the players as well. I think we have to call here because we've got a straight and he's been known to bluff already. So we can call him down a lot less. He might have a flush though. All right, so he was on the other end. The only thing we could have done was probably raise him a little bit lighter as well. Because he's been known to bluff, maybe shoving there could have been. So in that circumstance, we've identified a spot where we, especially against that opponent, knowing that he's going to bluff a little bit more and bet a little bit lighter, means that we can call a little bit lighter again and raise a bit lighter again. So we don't need a stronger hand. We need a weaker hand to raise against him, opposed to someone with a tighter range. But yeah, I think having the regular tables is helping with the win rate. I think regardless, I think we're going to hit this winning streaks. As you can see, like every session lately, we've been dominating the Russian cash tables as well. But I think it's been a nice added bonus having the regular tables as well. So I think definitely it's helped. And in the long term, I think regular tables will definitely help my win rate dramatically, because there's definitely weaker players. You can't ignore the fact that look at here for 66%, 75%, 35%, 27 is probably on the tighter range here, but you got 87. There's a lot of fish at the table, so you can't ignore the softer plays. But one thing I have learned is if you can dominate Zoom, or at least the Russian cash tables, so to speak. I mean, it can help you with discipline and folding, really weak ranges, because you're going to get dominated a lot of times. But once you get used to a certain format, it does get easier. But if you can adapt to certain formats and play all types, I got a call. All right, let's get a check here. We're out of position. It is a big bet. I'm going to fold. Oh, it's a chop. Don't call it a chop. He could be bluffing there as well. But at worst, we chop. Like, probably at best there, we're chopping. All right, I got a book. 10's going to bear. We could still have the best hand here. Let's see what happens. Jack 9. And that's the thing, right? Basing it on 87% there. Call him down a lot less. Call him down wider, where if you're playing Zoom, that's pretty much a fold every time. Because Zoom, they'll have aces and kings majority of the time. They'll have over pairs. We're on the top of the range. So right now, what I'm telling myself is make sure you don't overcall, because not everyone's going to be doing that. There's going to be a lot of people shoving there and exploiting your overcalling or your calling range. So we need to make sure we don't get stuck in calling down everyone. Because it wasn't that long ago I was overcalling rivers and getting the bad news and just getting sticky. Like, I'd have the best hand probably on the flop or on the turn, but then the hands change and you go, oh, they possibly can't have a set. And usually they don't, but they usually run into it. They usually have a straight on the river, or, they'll have something they've hit on the river. You just don't believe them, so you call them down. And another thing is, don't always have to see to believe. People just don't bluff as much as you think they do. Obviously, some of these guys are pretty bad at poker, so these guys will be bluffing a lot more. So the fishy players will bluff a lot more. We've got an open ender. Betting here is just We're value betting ourselves, so no. So when we do miss, if he's got a jack or a 10 there most of the time. And he checks the river. I don't know. Maybe we could have found a bet there. I think a lot of times there's not going to be a fold, and then we do miss. We do miss the we do miss the draw. Then we've just priced ourselves. And the reason is you're in position, so utilize position sometimes. Checking behind is a very powerful tool. So that's what you need to make sure is we check behind, and that's why you have position. Check behind. Get those free cards. Because out of position, you don't get to see your equity all that often. They're folding here pretty tight, but our opponent, a lot of 4,000 hands against a lot of four betting will be pretty tight, especially in Zoom. But against one of those other guys, we might have actually called or even shove. But the thing is, that those players will call down with not much anyway. So against the really bad players, you can't really bluff against them. You got to value bet against them. All right, ace check. What we'll do is cash this table. Also cash this table. Cash this table as well. Sure. All right, we're leaving this table as well. Just make sure we're going to set up another one. And another two more. Tile it. Make sure we fix it up. Perfect. All right, so this is folding in the small blind. A lot of times when you're out of position, in position you get the free cards. Out of position, you get charged for your draws. All right, just checking behind here. Trying to trap them with the suited diamonds. Because if they make a flush and they're trying to be sneaky, they'll definitely raise you when they hit the flush as well as you. We're going to value bet the ace. Give me a thin value bet here. He's got king high or he's got ace jack ace 10. We've got some value. There you go. So that was a thin value bet there. Beautiful. They're little spots that definitely help. And all right, pocket aces. But yeah, I think it's important too is, when, let's say the bankroll is quite low, you need to make sure you're willing to, when you double up a table, probably let it go. I'm going to raise it quite large here with aces. You don't want to risk too much on your bankroll all at once. Some people check their call behind. I remember we're out of position. And then you're losing value against kings because kings will probably go all in. And queens probably call, maybe jacks might call. There is a few hands people will four bet with. And then you can't really be upset when someone actually, hits a set on you because you've charged them. So overall, you'll win more hands. And the reason why we bet quite large there is because we're out of position, but also if we do the same thing with ace king, we should get the same response. So winning pre-flop is better than losing post-flop. All right, a7's going. Nines. All right, pocket nines in the cutoff. Right, it's going. Just don't want to. Yeah, this is one of these hands where I don't think we can actually bet. Okay, so now we've got a gut shot with an 8. If you've got a hand like Ace Jack, Ace King, we could have the best of it. Could we find a thin value bet here? I'm gonna let it go. Yeah, I probably could have bet there with Queen Jack. But it is a multi-way pot. If we can try and take it down with Ace 10, but he's taken a while. All right, got a gut shot. Got a flush draw and a gut shot. I don't know if the flush draw is going to actually be good for us, though. But while we've got the pressure on, the king hits our range as well. So we didn't have a capped range. All right, got to fold 10s. Got to pay attention to the bet sizing as well. That was quite a big 3-bet. It wasn't the small blind, though. 10s is pretty strong hand. Like, typically, a good player will be very strong in the small blind. Opening up with ace 9. Normally, I've been folding those, but still an open. All right, we got to keep barreling with 7-6. We have the world, we would have had the world there for most hands, and then have everything shut down on us by the river. All right, it's going to fold ace 9. I know we hit top pair, top kicker, but it's not always the best hand. Gonna throw a little value bet, see if we can get an ace to call. Beautiful. See, another thin value bet. That was very thin, ace queen. So we're finding these little spots, and you'll find that even in losing sessions, it definitely makes it a bit easier. All right, got a 3-bet jack 10. People are typically a bit wider in the cutoff. Just exploiting our opponent. He's quite tight. All right, it's bet large. We do have a book. If he's got a jack, he's calling. Hopefully. He might even shove all in with the jack if he's got ace jack. There's a lot of nasty cards coming out, like a heart or a club. Yeah, just gotta jam it. He could have a better hand. He could still have pocket 9s. Or ace jack would be nice. Queen jack. All right, not cashing out as well. I think not cashing out is good for us. I mean, it definitely helps our win rate as well. All right, well, flat, but we don't finish the action, so we could probably have probably could have folded the 9s here. We got away with it though. All right, got a gut shot. Oh, flopped it. All right, let's get a call here. We're not scared of the catch up. If he's got quad 6s, so be it. That's the only hand that probably beats us here. Yeah, just shoving. I thought maybe he'd call with an ace there, but thought we were chopping. I'm surprised he didn't call though. All right, let's leave this table. All right, so I need to really find the shortcut to open the tables. All right, we'll call with the eights, but all right, check behind. He's got an ace with his call, I guess, maybe. Maybe it's a good value bet. Maybe we missed a little bit thin value there. Maybe we could have bet there on the turn. I think we lost a little bit of value, just not on the river bet though. Not really a make or break situation, but still won the hand regardless, which is good. Also, we are now in front. Well, we're up to about $80 now. All right, we'll call. And free card. I don't know if we can call this. Let's give it a go. Seems pretty tight though, but we could easily have a two there. I'd say he's got some pocket pairs, like maybe a baby pair. He might also have a better ace than us. Although it doesn't really matter because if he had a better ace anyway and didn't have a pair, then I think it's just a chop anyway. The only difference was if we bet there on the turn, maybe we get folds. We'll call one. Gut shot, need a 10. All right, we'll let it go. Can't be 100% convinced that we'll have the best hand there. Remember he 3-bet. He was the under the gun. He could easily have ace king or ace queen there. Plus there was a flush. Plus there was a straight. We probably had the worst two pair hand you could think of. What's this guy doing? Let's let go. Alright, gonna bet this one, try and win the pot. Alright, ace king just shoves all in. This is gonna be pretty random. I think we call, but it could be behind most times. Fucking 8-7. I'm on the language, but yeah. Each runner runner. Alright, king jacks is folding. Alright, he's drawing dead pretty quick. So that was nice. Guarantees us in the 80s now. We could possibly just end the session now and just be quite happy. Be quite content with it. Also, there's another factor too that, part of what I was thinking as well as trying to play some pop tournaments as well. I haven't had a chance though to really find any good pub tournaments to play. The lowest possible amount to buy in, and then with the guaranteed price. Right, let's go fold ace queen. Normally I do squeeze there from the button. In position, gonna call with sevens. Your bet's really small. Ugh. Oh, on the river. Bet small, we could probably have called. Probably is a call. He's going to bet quite big if he's got the ace. But not necessarily. Sometimes people don't bet enough. Or bet high enough. Perfect. Very hard for our opponent to call. All right, we're gonna raise him. He's only got two big blinds ahead, but he could be in front with twos. Yeah, we are. We needed two. Needed two. That's it. All right, we'll raise this one up. I thought maybe if he's got ace queen or ace jack, he's gonna call the turn, call the flop. Obviously, you don't want him to have ace jack once the jack comes out. But that's what the goal was. Try and raise him while we're in front. And then sometimes people will have a very weak two pair, not even a top pair, but they'll have a weak two pair, and you can counter fed them on the river or by the river. Ace queen, gonna let go. It is a little bit of a tight fold, but I don't know. I feel like what's this guy doing? All right, tight. Let's go. Still happy we folded there. If we got two pair, we would have been pretty happy though. Because the two pair, I would have been able to get a lot of value from the ace king or ace queen he's got. Because they're usually much tighter on the Zoom tables. All right, pocket aces. Hopefully Billy raises here. Love to see a raise from Billy. The other thing too is we're playing very tight. So we got 14%, so people might be more willing to fold against us. All right, I got one caller. We want someone else to raise here, but I think everyone's going to call once the first guy calls. The rest are going to follow, maybe. Poison's out. Not the greatest flop for aces, so yeah, if he's got kings or queens, he's actually in front. Now we've got two pairs. So if he's got king queen, we've actually got the best hand. So I think we can actually value this one. You might call it the king. You might also have a set, but I don't think so. All right, perfect. Or we'll book anyway. They actually called with ace queen, so that's pretty cool. You'd think maybe he three bets, maybe he four bets with kings or queens there. So with him calling, maybe just an ace there. All right, we'll bet with jacks, just hoping that we just hold. All right, we'll check behind, just need a 10. Got a jack of hearts. So he's going to have a weak flush, if anything. I don't know if we can bluff it. Let's let it go. All in, 21, BB. All right. All right, so he's called behind. Don called behind. That's a snap call. He could have any two. Got lucky with this last time. All right, got to fold with twos. Not cashing out. All right, folding fives. Still not cashing out. And all right, just folding nines there. Might be a call, but for 10 big blinds, I don't think so. Short stack, got to fold. Not really. He's just going to be dominant. He's not. He's just going to be all in, pretty much playing. All in or fold, pretty much. So knowing that the king high, like king nine, I don't think it's going to be a great hand to actually go against someone like that. We'll throw a bet in. He's playing pretty tight, so pretty passive. So we'll try and take it down where we can. This guy's not deep enough, so take a fold away. All right, 5's won that one. He wasn't showing any strength. Plus, while we're in front, I think we could try and just, win the pot as it is. A bit of deja vu. Open up 5's. Okay. Right, we'll call this one, but who knows? All right, King Jack, definitely a calling hand there, but we'd let go. All right, 5's are gone. Yeah, maybe we're playing a little bit too tight. But if we're that worried about playing too tight or, trying to keep winnings, then we're probably better off just leaving the session. So in that case, I think what we're going to do is call it the session. And then we'll go, yeah, I'll call the session because we're not playing optimal. Plus, we're not really going to be playing that much more anyway. It's already at 2:45, so I was only going to play maximum till 3 o'clock. So this will give me a good chance to upload the video a bit earlier. We might actually have another session a bit later on as well. So, all right, guys. If you like the video, please like and subscribe, and just throw in a comment. Always like having a bit of feedback, and happy to have a conversation as well. If you got any questions, feel free as well. Yeah, don't be shy. Even if you say the wrong things, I'm not going to make you a fool, and that's fine. It's a safe place. All right, 4's. Just gonna check here. All right, got to throw a bet in. Just one big blind. We've got a straight. He might call with ace king. Might call with 2 pair. Might call with a set. It's gonna flat. I just calling. All right, so let's just chop anyway. All right, it's gonna fold balls there. All right, let's have a look and see what we got. Plus, we haven't got the free daily free spin and goes yet. All right, so we're sitting at 81 now. So at this rate, sorry, excuse me. At this rate, we're going to be at 5-0 by next week. And the question is, since we can have consecutive wins now, if we keep winning like this, we might push the 5-0 sooner than later. But at the same time, there's a few theories, right? So if we're winning consistently, then we can move up. But there's the other one. Why wreck a good thing? If you keep winning between $5 and $10 every day, just stay at 2-L until otherwise until it stops working. So I guess we can just keep riding the wave, and then we'll see how high we can go just at 2-L. That was scenario. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether or not we just. The back of my head, I was thinking 120 will go to 5-L, and that will give us a few good buy-ins. A good shot at 5-L, and then we could play until if we fall back to $80, go back to 2-L. Yeah, at the moment, that's what I was thinking. And the other thing is just stay at 2-L and just until the winning streak finishes, and then we can just gut the 5-L there, and hopefully we can continue onwards with a different level. All right, guys, thanks again. I'll catch you next time.